Oh, boy. I'll stay away from that one. Let's check in, though, on that president and GM and coach search. Yep, just as I expected. I wanted to get this to you. The NFL has now, and the Players Coalition has reportedly reached an agreement Monday night on a $90 million social justice partnership. Now, keep that figure in mind. Jim Trotter of the NFL Media reported the sides finalized the deal 7 months after the groundwork was announced. The focus will be, quote, causes considered important to the African-American communities on both a national and local level. The league hopes the 7-year commitment will create an environment in which players will no longer want to protest. Wow. What a load of crap. Honestly, this is where the NFL is so reliable in being disgusting and dishonest. And let me explain. Whether you agree with player protests or not is immaterial to our discussion here, okay? So try to keep your eye on the prize. The NFL puts out this splashy headline, $90 million. Then in about the fifth sentence, they say over 7 years. That number is so minute and is such a non-story, it defies logic. You have, 32 owners in the league? If every owner gave just under $3 million a year, I mean, let's just put, now again, easy for me to say, right? Oh, it's not your money. Hold on. These guys are all billionaires. The one thing I can assure you, if you got to be a billionaire to own a team, right? And the one thing I can also guarantee is you buy an NFL team, you don't lose money, ever. In fact, you make it hands over fist. If every guy gave $3 million a year, well, geez, that's $96 million in 1 year. That's really not a lot. Like, if you got to look at these dudes' tax write-offs, the money they're giving to charities they actually care about, which you'd be surprised, probably don't have to do with the black community. Sorry, just a dirty secret there. The point is, the $90 million figure is garbage. That's one. Two, why is there a time limit on this? If the NFL actually cares about a problem, or again, if you don't perceive it to be a problem, stick to the topic. You don't put a time limit on fixing something. You don't make a 7-year commitment to curing cancer or AIDS research or feeding kids who come home hungry. You simply commit to fixing the problem. But the NFL didn't do that. 7 years, $90 million. Then you factor in this canned remark, quote, causes considered important to the African-American community on a national and local level. It still has a tone of, yeah, things, those people care about and not that the NFL cares about. See, this is the issue here. They do the splashy headline. They bury the lead about the time amount. Then they offer you this canvas statement about, well, it's things that, those people care about. And then right at the end, like you just made the sundae for your son or your daughter, and you just got that whipped cream on top, and you go, wait a second. Let Dad go to the fridge, reach in there. Oh, there are those radioactive maraschino cherries. How do they stay fresh and so bright? Who knows? And you plop that cherry right on the sundae, right? That's what the NFL does at the end. We hope players will no longer protest. See, this isn't about fixing anything. And please, I'm not interested in your politics. Let's just keep that out. If the NFL was truly interested in fixing a problem that their workforce cares about deeply, this is exactly how you don't release a statement. This is exactly how you don't structure a deal. To me, this is anything but heartfelt. It is calculated. I think it's callous, and I have no need for it. 7 years, $90 million will impress the lowest of the hanging fruit, okay? It doesn't impress an adult who has an idea about finances of the National Football League. 7 years and $90 million? Are you kidding me? These guys use more private jet fuel in 6 months than they will be giving to this cause over a 7-year period. That's not impressive, and it's not heartfelt. Now, whatever this players' coalition is, I need more details on that because I think they should be embarrassed for having agreed to this. Absolutely embarrassing.
Well, when the initial details came out in December, because I know Malcolm Jenkins is supposed to be the head of the coalition.
Eagles safety.
Yes, Russell Okung was in it, and Eric Reed was in it, and he was one of the members that was upset with this deal because apparently, according to the details in December, this money was initially allocated for breast cancer awareness and the Salute to Service. So this money isn't even coming from a new source.
Right.
It's coming from money that was already being used, and they said, you know what? We don't want to, dedicate more from us. We just want to reallocate it. That's a joke.
Oh, no, totally. And it's great. It's a great ad by you, David. And it's the truth. I've already criticized the NFL up and down for the Salute to Service, which they take money to do. I've criticized them up and down for the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, where barely any of the money goes to, breast cancer research. So this is par for the course. And I don't think it's acceptable. Now, understand, even if let's say you live in La La Land and you believe as a country we are racially perfect and racism is dead and, well, this is young black men complaining, you can live in your bubble. I won't even attack you today. I will just offer you this. Even if you disagree with what the money would be going to, how can you argue my principle that an owner giving a couple $1,000,000 a year, a billionaire, giving a couple $1,000,000 a year is too much to ask for me to believe that there's a modicum of sincerity here? I think the answer is you can't. And that's my problem with the NFL. Nothing they do is sincere. Nothing is ever real. You don't feel a connection with this league. And you know what? I'll give you an example. Maybe Adam Silver is the greatest salesman on the planet, the commissioner of the NBA. Maybe Adam Silver is a huckster. Maybe he's fooled us all, but I'll tell you what, he's fooled us. Because I believe Adam Silver, when he goes out and makes comments about serious issues, I believe that league actually gives a bleep.
Yeah.
And I believe Silver is actually trying to do something. Roger Goodell, his cronies, the absolute ridiculous NFLPA, none of them get their act together. I really, really am not comfortable with this. This is not It's not sincere. And the idea that they basically are going to pay 7 years and $90 million for players to, hey, hopefully you don't protest now. This marginalizes the workforce. I think it takes the meaning out of what the real problem is. And instead of being a leader, the NFL still holds a perch, ever so precarious, but they hold a perch in this country as the most powerful league with the biggest audience. Instead of being a leader that all leagues could follow in wanting to have a positive impact on the community, wanting to solve or at least play an active role in fixing the absolute See, this is the other thing, too. Don't sell me that the money will, quote, go to things that the African-American community finds important. No, say what you mean.
That's my problem. It's when you talk about the NBA, first of all, these NFL owners are giving way less than $1 million each. Well, reallocated money each. And Colin Kaepernick gave $1 million himself last year to different causes. Sure. That's one thing. Second thing is the NBA, they do care. Whether each owner actually cares about the causes doesn't matter to me, in my mind, because when they go out, they actually put their actions towards those causes.
Right.
They tell the players, your cause that you want to fight for is now my cause. I'm going to fight for it, right, whether I believe in it or not. The NFL is so disingenuous by releasing a statement basically saying, well, whatever causes, like, no. Don't release that statement. Just say you're going to put this money towards things and we're going to help them.
That's like when you tell me money is going to government and it's going to, quote, the general fund.
Exactly. What does that even mean?
That money's going bye-bye. Yeah, no, I really didn't like this, and I thought it warranted a little conversation. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. And the reason I said let's stick to the point of this about the NFL being disingenuous, hey, you don't have to agree. I know many of you don't want to talk about any of this. I know many of you are uncomfortable talking about some of the problems we have as a country or some of the problems these players feel exist, because here's a hint, those problems do exist. My point is, if you're going to be a league and you're going to try to buy the players off and buy their loyalty to not protest, you could at least somewhat convince me you mean it. It's so pathetic. It's like when I talked about Jeter with the Marlins. How can intelligent people who have been so successful in life be so bad at this? It's so shameless.
Well, this is a checking off the box type of talent.
Yes. Yes.
They're attempting to cut a check, to throw a big number out there like $90 million. I'm surprised they didn't just say $100 million just 'cause
Move
it's three
along.
digits. But they're just trying to act like that. And you know what? It works because a lot of people have already texted in this segment saying, oh, how dare you guys criticize a $90 million contribution.
It's $90 million
does.
over 7 years. Argue my math. Every one of these owners owns airplanes, plural. Argue my math that if every owner gave a couple mil a year, do you know what the figure would be? Come on, guys. 7 years at 90? 32 owners? Do the math. Anything less than $250 million commitment is laughable. It's laughable. Come on. But see, this is the problem. People's true colors come out, and they're uncomfortable talking about it. They don't like what the players stand for, and they can't have an adult conversation that the owners are really fooling you here.
Now, I just did the math on it. Do you know how much money this equates to per team per year?
Go ahead.
$401,000 per team per year.
Mike, if we weren't on camera, I would turn around, pull my pants down, and fart into the microphone. $400,000. The revenue sharing check that every owner gets is like $25 million at the start of every year. Just stop. Just cut it out. I mean, it's outrageous. But it shows you how badly people want these players to go away, how uncomfortable people are with the conversation. It bums me out, man. All right. Well, listen, I'll throw the number out, 248-539-9797. See if we can have a conversation. 97.1.